1. Hook. Imagine running a startup and suddenly seeing a $10,000 bill from AWS. What went wrong? Let's uncover the most expensive AWS mistake I've ever seen and how you can avoid it. Understanding where these mistakes happen is key to keeping your cloud costs manageable. 3. The simple explanation: AWS offers a wide array of services, but with that complexity comes the risk of misconfigurations. Even small errors can lead to enormous costs. Here's what you need to know: resource mismanagement, forgetting to turn off resources after use. Over-provisioning, allocating more resources than necessary. Lack of monitoring, not keeping an eye on usage patterns. Ignoring pricing models, using services without understanding their pricing structures. Inadequate budget controls, not setting budgets to cap expenses. Each of these could lead to costly mistakes, but awareness is the first step to prevention. 4. Real-world example. Let's dive into a real-world incident that illustrates this perfectly. A startup I worked with was developing a machine learning application. They used AWS EC2 instances for computing and S3 for storage. Initially, everything was running smoothly, and they budgeted around $500 per month. However, they launched a new feature that needed heavy processing power. Instead of optimizing existing instances, they launched additional EC2 instances. They ran 10 instances, each costing $100 per month, and didn't set any termination rules. After a month, they received an AWS bill of $12,000. They had 10 instances running 24/7, and S3 storage was ballooning due to unnecessary backups. This mistake almost led to them shutting down permanently. They learned the hard way about the importance of resource management and cost tracking. 5. What to do instead. Here's how to avoid such costly mistakes. 1. Assess your needs, analyze your workload. Are you really utilizing all resources? Choose the right instance types, use AWS's pricing calculator for estimates. 2. Use auto-scaling, set scaling policies, opt for auto-scaling groups to match resource allocation to current traffic. Define minimum and maximum limits, for instance, set thresholds to scale between 2 and 10 instances based on user load. 3. Monitor and optimize usage, implement CloudWatch, set up alerts for unusual spending or resource usage. Review usage weekly, make it a habit to review your billing dashboard. 4. Configure termination policies, use life cycle rules, ensure resources automatically shut down after hours. Establish timeouts, set a maximum runtime for instances that are not in use. 5. Set budgets and alerts, create budgets in AWS Budgets, set alerts when you approach your budget limits. Utilize Cost Explorer, analyze trends and identify spikes in spending. By following these steps, you can maintain control over your cloud expenditures and avoid unexpected bills. 6. Common mistakes. Let's look at 5 common mistakes and how to avoid them. 1. Not deleting unused resources. Fix. Regularly audit your resources. Use AWS CLI commands like AWS-sec to describe instances to find and delete unused instances. 2. Ignoring free tier limits. Fix. Understand the limits of the free tier. Regularly check your usage against the limits to avoid charges. 3. Overlooking data transfer costs. Fix. Keep data transfer in mind. Use tools like AWS Pricing Calculator to estimate these costs. 4. Using on-demand instances for long-term needs. Fix. Consider reserved instances or spot instances for long-term projects. They can save you up to 75% compared to on-demand pricing. 5. Failing to tag resources. Fix. Enforce tagging policies. Tagging resources helps in tracking and managing costs effectively. 7. Quick checklist. Here's a quick checklist to keep handy. Assess and analyze your resource needs. Implement auto-scaling policies. Monitor usage with CloudWatch alerts. Set up termination policies for instances. Create budgets and alerts for spending. 8. Summary plus CTA. The most expensive AWS mistake often comes from a lack of understanding and oversight. By assessing your needs, monitoring usage, and adhering to best practices, you can avoid hefty bills. If you found this video helpful, drop a comment below about your experiences with AWS. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips on managing cloud costs effectively. Bonus practical tip: if you're unsure what to pick, start with the simplest option that ships today. Then measure for 7 days, latency, errors, deploy time, and cost. Only upgrade when metrics force the decision, not fear. Quick recap: keep it simple, avoid over-engineering, and build the smallest thing that works. If you want a real demo or checklist, comment demo. Subscribe for practical AWS, DevOps, Docker, and Kubernetes lessons.